Hello guys! You didn't see this coming, did you? A third video about the flame totem in the beta. Can you believe this? I strike again. Okay, joke aside. Um, as I progress and as I'm pretty much really happy with my character, I decided, to make a third video in which I will show you what happens when you put this new unique stuff on the flame totem. Let me close global chat real quick and trade chat apparently. So pretty much when we talk about this stuff, its name is Sire of Shards. What it does is the Wastu one says that socketed gems fire 4 additional projectiles. Which, let's just first talk about this one. This means free GMP. This is exactly what it means. If you have a GMP gem, I don't have one, I'm sure, but I have a LMP gem. Lesser. Yeah, I saw it where it is. Here it is. What it says is 2 additional projectiles. So pretty much freezing pulse is 1 projectile, fireball is 1 projectile, flame totem shoots 1 projectile. When you put LMP, these projectiles become with 2 additional, so the total of 3 projectiles. Freezing pulse with LMP, as we know, becomes a little bit wider, and there are 3 pulses. With GMP, there are 4 additional plus the 1 main, that's 5 projectiles. So this means that this stuff does free GMP. However, as we know, in the Awakening, in the beta, what they changed is that LMP, GMP, and so on, even though they have 25% less projectile damage, or the GMP should have 50, maybe now it's above to 60% less, no, 40, it's down to 40% less projectile damage. What will happen is that even though the projectiles are more and they cover a wider area, they do not shotgun, means that your 2 DPS is real, you do not multiply it by the number of projectiles. Super short example, just to make sure that you are getting what I'm saying, is that if your freezing pulse does 1000 DPS without GMP, when you put GMP at the moment on the list servers, your 2 tip DPS will be 500 because GMP gives 50% less damage. However, because you shoot 5 projectiles, you do 5 times 500, which is 2.5k damage. So this means that with just 1 gem, you more than double your DPS of your freezing pulse. In the beta, in the Awakening, when it gets released, this is not going to work like that. You're still gonna shoot more projectiles, which are gonna cover wider area, but the damage will not go higher. It will go less damage. This is how it is. I hope you understand. Now, back to the stuff for the last line. What it says is socketed gems fire projectiles in a nova. I don't know what exactly, firing projectiles in a nova means, but what actually happens is the projectiles goes 1 up, 1 down, 1 left, 1 right. This is what was gonna happen if there were 4. However, because they're 5, they're like 12 hour, then what is it, like 4 hour, then 5, and then 8, and then or 9, whatever it is, and then 12 again. So this is what happens. So let me show you real quick in the city of Sarn, in Merciless, what happens with the totem when you put this stuff on it. Pew! Isn't it great? Pew! Like, look at it. What the fuck is that, right? And it's really funny when you have 2 totems firing, 1 up, 1 bottom. Like, look at this. They just kill the stuff too quickly and you can't quite see it, but yeah. So this is what happens, and so on. No need of more demonstration. Let me just tell you my observation about the stuff, about the totem, and this implies to actually skills like Incinerate. Yeah, there is really enough videos on the internet about the stuff and what it does, but let me just give you my my thoughts about it, and if it haven't, I think that it haven't been covered in the way that I'm gonna present it, and this video hopefully will be useful to you. So pretty much when I started my character in the previous video, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you to watch it. I was explaining how this build is really budget, because all you need is a wand that you craft yourself with the recipe, like a wand like this that you sell, a blue wand, a ruby ring, and one alteration you get additional sockets to the sockets and gems. This is with lightning, but so this means that this is done, let's say, with a topaz ring, but you know, it's the same thing when you do it with ruby ring. So now we go with a wand, you get +1 gems, then you can find a wand with +2 gems, or what I did is to buy a staff, a 5-link staff, and they're cheap because not that many people are using. Wow item level like 40-50 is like 2 chaos, 3 chaos tops, and these ones with 5 link are like, you know, 5 to 10 chaos, but it's still not that expensive because once you put this stuff, the only next reasonable upgrade that you can do is this stuff if you prefer. I'll go to, you know, what's the difference between these stuffs. So as you can see, my 2 DPS is 7.5k. If I move the gems over to my old stuff, this is my old stuff, meaning that I got it first, it's cheaper, much cheaper, and so on. My 2 DPS goes to 9.3k, so from 7.5 to 9.3k. That's quite an increase in the DPS. However, as you know, the projectiles start shooting in one direction, and even with this unique duo that I presented last time, 2 additional projectiles, you know, they are not that width, they don't cover that width area. Well, with this stuff, it's everything 360, bro. It's amazing. So what happens? What is the difference between these stuffs in gameplay wise, and which one is actually better? With this one, obviously higher DPS. Higher DPS means, because, you know, projectiles don't stack and so on, so on, so on. Boss killing with a stuff that is worth literally less than 15 chaos. You need 1 regal, mastercraft the spell damage is like 10 outs, I think it is. Outrate it with 3 stacks is gonna be more than enough to get the 2 fire gems, and you're done. So 15 chaos is worth the value of this stuff. I know how much this stuff will go once the servers go live, but and I know how much people have traded it for in the past, and people have traded it for today, and will trade it for in the rest of the beta. But what I bought it for is 55 chaos equivalent in ratios. 1 chaos is 2 fusings, 1 chaos is 2 augs, 1 exalt is 5 chaos. I paid 1 exalt in my bid, and it was valued at 5 chaos, and what else? Not 30. And I don't know what else was it. 12 alterations to 1 chaos, and so on and so on. In these ratios, I paid pretty much, if we talk about exalts, 11 exalts. If you talk in chaos, 55 chaos. And my point is that I would expect the stuff to go either price like 3 exalts, either higher. I highly doubt it that this stuff will be worth 10 chaos in the beta. It is really, really useful. Now, if you put a spark, for instance, it's gonna shoot much more sparks, which will be much more bigger clear speed, and so on and so on. So the new stuff, the unique stuff, makes your AoE clearing not that noticeably, but faster, in my opinion. Meaning the trash mobs, the boom mobs, and so on. And the bosses might be slower, but it's not significant, and you don't quite notice and see it. So if I have to decide between these two stuffs, I would go with this one. However, if the value of this stuff is 10 exalts, what I paid for it, then for 10 exalts, I'm sure that I can get at least 5 link plus 1 to socketed gems and plus 2 to fire gem stuff. And if I get that, my DPS difference won't be from 7.5 to 9.3k DPS, but my DPS will skyrocket to 10 plus, maybe even it will hit 11. And then dropping down to 7k DPS will be quite a big difference. So the DPS, especially on the bosses, will be, you know, will be going for crafted, rare crafted stuff. And not to mention that if you get a really good stuff with +1 to gems, +2 to fire, and some high spell damage, cast speed, maybe stuff like that, it's worth it to 6-link it. And once you 6-link it, definitely the 6th-link has to be Empower gem, or even not only the 6th-link, but if you get a stuff like that, the 5th-link. And Empower gem is gonna make a huge difference because it's gonna boost your it's gonna boost your totem with additional level, but because of the gem, one additional level to the gems in the staff, it's gonna boost it with one additional level. So the difference between these two stuffs in levels, if you have empower gem as well, even if they're both list 6 links, they're both using empower, is that this stuff you have 4 additional levels on your totem. And or any other fire spell or whatever you prefer to play with. So 4 of these is really a big deal. So at the end, as 15 exalts worth of a stuff or 20, I don't know how much it will go for, neither the rare stuff, neither the unique stuff, is definitely towards this one, just because the 2 GDPS will be much higher and everything will instantly die, including bosses. However, for budget, if this is up to 4 or 5 exalts, up to that much, this is an update, in my opinion, compared to the smaller AOE, smaller coverage of the screen with the crafted stuff. And obviously for cheap, for less than exalt, the staff is the best weapon, because plus 2 to fire, more links, because if you do it on a wand or a scepter, you can get only 3 links, and these 2 additional gems do make a difference. And not to mention that you can get these notes here: 20 crit, 20 crit, 40 crit chance, and 30 crit multiplier. These notes alone are like, I don't know, like 10% DPS on top of what you have. After you take all the rest of the crit notes, they're that good. Okay, and now I want to really quickly cover about also I think I missed, I bought the stuff 6 socketed, but not 5 linked. I 5 linked it myself with 89 fusings. So what happens with the totems, and why I'm saying that this is an update towards the plus 2, at least as it feels at the moment. Later on I'll switch back to this stuff just to try it out and see how it is. For instance, there is the mobs that are with the Undying Aura, the rare mobs or the Undying Aura totems. They're really annoying for the totem and every other totem build, because when you put the totem, it might choose a wrong target and shoot it and shoot it and shoot, and you have to recast the totem again and again and again until it targets the right monster. If it doesn't, it won't kill it because it cannot die. So this is really annoying, and this problem is being fixed with this stuff, because it attacks at 360 degrees and you don't have any issues with that. This is really something that you get used to real quick. However, the problem with this stuff is that it covers your whole screen. I can easily die to flame barriers, not only flame barriers, but any barriers. Let me real quick open this map, just so I can fight some monsters that have a little bit higher HP, that won't die too quickly, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here it is. I'm opening this map. Again, I did up to 73 level maps. I just didn't get higher level maps because I didn't get the drops. And now I'm back to 69. So what I'm talking about is everything shock. When they die, they're blue on the ground. The monsters, they're whitening up. Look at the shock duration. And then when I because I'm killing stuff really quickly. I forgot to put my aura on. Really quickly, I go with the totems, so just go with them. And when I do that, again, this is just how I play the game, but how I play the build. But just because they kill super fast the monsters, I have to go with it in order to save time in traveling, in order to have fast clear speed, to not waste too much time on the monsters. And as you can see in this gameplay footage of the totem with the stuff, pretty much the issue is that one, I feel like it will come to a moment where I will literally die. Like this guy didn't even see that it's volatile, but this, this would happen with the other stuff as well. Yeah, the way I played, but it just covers the whole screen. I cannot see what am I attacking, how much HP does it have. Maybe it's visible, but what exactly am I attacking? I really don't know. I know. I guess you get it. Maybe you need to play with the stuff in order to understand what I'm talking about. But there is that. As you can see, the clear speed is still amazing. It's the same in higher level maps. Even if the mobs die with 20% less, more time, 20% out of 1 second is 1.2 seconds. So there is that. Okay, guys. See you in the next video.